la parte de los ingenieros, porque hay algunos que somos ingenieros graduados, pero otros son ingenieros de la vida. O sea, la palabra ingeniero es ingeniársela. Son ingenieros de la vida y por experiencia, por muchos años de experiencia, pues creo que merecen el título de ingeniero.
Yeah, so about 3 years ago, I got a knock on the door from a graduate student at VCU, whom I didn't know, who introduced himself and essentially said that he had had an experience that he wanted to see if he could get started at VCU. And that experience had been a part of an organization called Engineering World Health. And he said for him it was a transformative experience, and that he thought that students in bioengineering particularly would benefit from having that kind of exposure. So Engineering World Health, not the only program, but unusual, makes no pretense that this is study abroad. This is definitely not study abroad.
I guess I was able to convince them that I was interested enough in problem solving, because that's what I focused on a lot, and that's part of the reason I went to engineering school, is because I like to solve problems.
I really feel like I'll learn a lot by getting on hands-on experience, especially since, you know, you work in a lab and you work in, like I do cell culturing work, so I don't get that instrumentation experience. So I really want to get that and like broaden my like BME career.
I really do like to just jump into the deep end of experiences, because I find that if I try to over-prepare for them or dwell on my emotions leading up to them, it's not really going to do me any good. Whatever happens there happens, and there's only so much I can do to prepare for. So I'm just going to jump.
So what's the problem with this?
So when you turn it on, the actual board doesn't turn on, which means that there's an electrical problem with it. So we're gonna open it up and test all of the electrical wires with a multimeter in order to see which one's the problem, and then hopefully do something to fix it.
And what is this machine? What does it do?
This is an autoclave, and it's used to sterilize other pieces of equipment using pressure and steam. It works a lot like a pressure cooker.
So autoclaves are a big problem here, just in general. They kind of break and no one knows how to fix them, and they all use, they don't use distilled water, they just use tap water, and it has a bunch of minerals in it, and that just deposits all over the pipes, and then they all get clogged. So that's kind of what we were expecting to find when we opened that autoclave. It's supposed to be this.
Yeah,
I think so too.
What? It looks like an animal just chewed right through it.
So what we think happened is the mice got into it because there are pellets everywhere, and all of these wires, like they look like they were chewed. Like you can see in here too, like this wire here, there's a light. This wire looks like it was just chewed. So
we couldn't really figure out what was supposed to go where, and we just told them they'd have to send it somewhere else because it was too much for us to deal with, or if we could take it back to the hospital and work on it here for a few days, because it would be a few day long project trying to get it to work.
Yeah, no. And then we went to this place after in Esteli. And
oh yeah, you guys said that.
The like taco quesadilla things, they were so good.
But then you guys all got sick.
This hospital, particularly what we've been working on, is they have a bunch of ventilators that just aren't compressing. There's a problem with the pressure compressor in these ventilators, and when Deanna and I did research on what was wrong with them, we had found out that a lot of them had been recalled due to this
due to this problem.
Pushing the things like, well, okay, so, but he does, like I heard, because I brought the nurse here from neonatal saying like, I'm gonna switch the monitors.
So we tried to contact the states and see like if there anything they could do with these ventilators, and they seem to be very responsive, and we're still like in the process of like figuring out what they're going to do about the situation, because 7 of those ventilators, they have this whole list of ventilators that they recalled, and 7 of them are here at this hospital, and like 6 of them are in the shed back there.
Yeah, so like before, none of these did anything.
Well, we tested the probe on a different
So this probe works.
This probe works, yeah.
Okay, so then we need to find.
It's a problem with, I don't know. It's kind of like, it's funny how like close you become to these technicians. Like they invited us to this like hospital like party, get together, talent show kind of thing. They like lumped us in with their like hospital family, and they even made like an announcement like, oh, these 2 are engineers like here just working in our hospital, and they like introduced us. They're just all like really nice, and like working with the technician staff, and like they definitely use what they have. Like I've seen things like even the chairs, they'll just like make a new chair. If it's missing legs, like it's fine. I've even used like earlier I was looking for a speaker to replace in a Doppler, and like I can't buy speakers anywhere in this city. So instead I bought like an answering machine. It was like a couple dollars, and like I just took the speaker from that, and now I can replace it in the Doppler. You have to think differently. If you're like, oh, I need this part, you probably can't find it. So you have to use like what's around you kind of, and be like, oh, this probably can help me, even though it's not exactly what I'm looking for. So.
The maintenance department here really knows what it's doing. They're all very skilled and talented workers, and I love working with all of them.
They always know what to do and how to fix things, and if they can't fix something, they know when to give up. So my role has been more to learn and observe and see what they do, and then help out when I can.
But we're definitely learning a lot here. I'm learning how to MacGyver so many different instruments and tools.
He recibido la visita de varios grupos de estudiantes de su programa universitario. Me ha parecido muy buena la opción de enviar a estos muchachos a aprender y a ayudarnos a compartir conocimiento acerca de posibles nuevas tecnologías o de tecnologías usadas actualmente. Y también nosotros compartimos nuestras experiencias con respecto a lo que se debe el mantenimiento y uso de equipos en hospitales para atención de pacientes hospitalarios, valga la redundancia. Nosotros nos dedicamos prácticamente al mantenimiento correctivo, puesto que nuestro mantenimiento preventivo, porque son muchos equipos pues, y por falta de accesorios o algunos repuestos que no poseemos por condiciones fuera de nuestro alcance, pues nosotros prácticamente nos dedicamos a hacer mantenimiento correctivo de los equipos.
It's also a matter of who is in charge, because if sometimes it's cheaper, not cheaper, but easier to decide for a new equipment than repairing a new one, an old one, because you don't have to think. Just trash away that and buy a new one, because you don't have to use your brain just to make a very simple decision. And in that situation, a simple decision is very bad. because people are not thinking in the future, but thinking on just short term, and that's something government has to find a way to solve, because it's a big problem.
Maybe I expected to learn this, but not to just throw something away and buy a new one, to like open it up and look at it and figure out an interesting way to fix it, hopefully, because the United States, we're just so into consumerism. And here it's, I mean, maybe they would be into consumerism if they had all the money that we have to be into consumerism, but they don't. So they really work with what they have.
We as a nation have become so ignorant of the way in which things actually are put together that we no longer can fix our own car, we can't fix our radio, we simply have to purchase a new one. And until someone takes it apart, understands how it works, and repairs the part using some alternative, they really have not been engineers in what we imagine to be the definition.
It's a matter of changing minds. You can change the hospital, but if you don't change this, you do nothing. You are losing your time.
Necesitas dar tu conocimiento a otro para que el conocimiento se siga expandiendo. O sea, no quede encerrado en 2, 3 personas, sino que se expanda y sea para proporcionar una mejor atención, un servicio de calidad para nuestro pueblo, o para todos los pueblos que gocen o que tengan el acceso a este tipo de tecnología.